Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I have been really busy. As some of you guys know, I went to Dragon Con over the weekend. 5 days of craziness. Yeah, I know. It is something. And if you guys want to know about this cool Superman story and Arrowverse story that I had over Dragon Con, let me know and I'll tell you about it because it's kind of hilarious. It's really funny. But the reason why I want to talk about I'm on the channel right now is because I'm trying to catch up with things that I missed or whatever. And this funny thing that happened is I'm hearing a lot of independent artists, not like the commentators, not the commentators, but just regular independent comic book artists complaining about simple stuff nowadays, if that makes sense. Always with the whole, oh, this person didn't support me, or I'm not making enough money or whatever and stuff like that, or nobody knows me or something like that. And I'm just getting kind of aggravated by it, because it just seems like as an independent artist you kind of have to take a chance on yourself, and you can't keep relying on everybody else to do your job for you, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I want to say this is I had an independent artist had reached out to me and asked me could I, support them on some stuff or shout them out or whatever. But I'm just thinking to myself, why would I help you out? You barely, help yourself. You barely talk to me hardly. You follow me, but you don't support any endeavors I do. You don't be on social media hardly. You don't support any of the people that kind of support you as well. And you're complaining about not having stuff, or how can I support you? It's a two-way street. You got to give the customers or your fans something to, want to keep being around you or supporting you. You can't just say, oh, I'm doing this comic book or I'm doing these art pieces and stuff like that, and I will hope you guys will support me, but then don't support them back. Like, for instance, I have a Instagram, right? So when I do artwork or whatever, I post artwork, and when people like it and stuff like that, I usually try to go on their page and like it, like stuff back or whatever. And they make comments, I try to say, hey, thanks for the post or whatever. I mean, thanks for the likes or whatever. And then when they give me several hundred likes on something or whatever and junk like that, I will shout them out or whatever. Or if I go on their page and I see something that they did or whatever, and if it's cool to me, I will reshare and stuff like that, and tag them, make sure people can see it or whatever. And that's the kind of stuff you have to kind of do. You can't just expect it to happen for you when you're not really putting in the work. That's the thing that aggravates me the most, is a lot of people aren't putting in the work, but then they want people to like support them, and that's fine and all, but support doesn't work like that. You can't just wake up one day and expect people to support your work if, one, some of your ideas are terrible, two, if you're barely have a social media presence, three, if you aren't even supporting them in their endeavors and stuff as well. We're all small kind of creators or artists ourselves, and I'm not saying that I'm going to do anything crowdfunded related anytime soon or anything or whatever, but if I did, I want to at least make sure I have enough of something to give to people. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, appreciate the people that are actually there. But to barely have any presence around those people, but then ask them, hey, can you support my endeavors, just doesn't make any logical sense. And then if they do support your stuff, you're talking crazy and stuff like that. You're complaining about this doesn't work or whatever. And another thing too is some independent people also thinks that their first idea is the idea that works. I'm not saying that you can't have a good idea, but you have to be creative about your ideas or whatever as well. You got to have a good foundation. And if people are willing to help you out or whatever and stuff like that, or if your customer base is willing to tell you, or your fandom, if you got one or whatever and stuff like that, are willing to tell you, hey, this happened, you know, or maybe if you tweet this or whatever, you have to change it, because as an independent artist, you are in a customer service market. You can't just throw out whatever you feel like throwing out just because it's cool to you. That's great and all, you know what I'm saying? I like the color blue, but I'm not going to create an independent book about the fucking color blue. You get what I'm saying? Like, especially if it ain't something that people aren't interested in, you know, especially if I'm not trying to get creative with the color blue. But I know I just want to write a story about how much I love blue, because I love blue, therefore everybody else has to like blue as well. It's just stupid and petty, to be honest, because it's just like, you're working for you, not your customer base, but you want customers, and then you guys have this unrealistic expectation that you have to understand that when you're going into independent, you're taking a gamble on your risk, on yourself, and a lot of times you might be, you know, getting a loss before you get a gain, and it happens. I'm not saying that it's perfect or anything, but you know, at least, you know, hey, this is your first campaign. You can ask people about it, go, you know, promote it as much as you can, but you just can't expect people to just give you money or give you support when you've been lacking in the support, or you've been lacking in the presence yourself. You know what I mean? So, you know, hate on comic creators all you want to, hate on independent comic book creators who've done, or independent artists or whatever, who've done a lot of work or whatever, but they've put the time and effort. They have a presence around people. They have something that people want, and they've shown people that they can deliver stuff as well. And, you know, at the same time, they also appreciate the support that they give. When you're barely doing that or whatever, and all you're focusing on is the popular people instead of the small people, what point is that? Like, I've seen some independent people, you know, who wants a following or whatever. They'll only focus on popular independent stuff instead of smaller independent creators as well, because think about it, y'all both small, right? So if you focus on, you know, uplifting each other, you can kind of grow together, because those, to be honest, these big independent artists, they don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's great that you want to support their stuff or whatever, and I'm not saying don't buy their stuff. What I'm saying is, don't focus on them, and don't focus on, I wish I can get there like them, because you can get there, but you just got to put the work in there. That's all I'm saying. Put the work and put the time and put the effort into it, but you can't just forget the little people in life. The little people are the ones that are moving everything along, and that's why, like, the mainstream of comic books and artists and stuff like that are failing, because they only think about the big stuff. They don't think about the little people, because the little people aren't important enough or whatever. But we individuals have money, and we individuals have voices that, you know, hey, if you don't want us, we can find somebody else who will, who wants to support us or whatever, or, you know, thank us or whatever and stuff like that. Because if you don't thank people for putting time and effort into your stuff, and if you don't support other people who are also small people like you, then, you know, hey, you can't get mad when those same people that you're asking for money say no. And I'm getting kind of annoyed that I'm running into a lot of people who barely wants to deal with people in general and complain about stuff or whatever, begging for money. Make that make sense, people. How the hell you barely have a presence online, you barely have a presence at all, but yet you want to keep asking for money and asking for support? It just doesn't work like that to me. So yeah, it is what it is. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.